All right, so let's just get started for reals this time. Again, we are in the car. Crystal's driving. Amber's vlogging. Crystal's just been diagnosed. Amber's been crying.
Having the best day, but surely it could only get better from here.
I swear to God, I'm having probably the worst day in a long time.
Because it's all about you. I'm sorry. I hate to be like that. But this is early Amber. This behavior that we are watching right now, me drinking my coffee. This behavior that we are watching right now is identical to the way Amber acts today. Every time Becky went to the doctor, and every time Destiny went to the doctor, it wasn't about Becky or Destiny. It was about Amber. And this is Crystal. And Crystal's the one who has the actual diagnosis. And Amber's the one falling apart and having the worst day of her life.
Crystal and I were driving into our neighborhood and there was something in the middle of the road. Obviously, that's like when you see roadkill, you just go past it. I mean, that's what people do. But this wasn't, it was a freaking cat. I just couldn't even believe it. I had Crystal, like I literally got out of the car while it was still moving. Like I'm not
even... The other thing that I have a hard time doing is not judging past Amber with a current Amber lens. Does that make sense? The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there. But Amber doesn't change. That's really the conclusion I keep coming to is Amber doesn't change. That was just January. Okay. Sorry. Episode 2. We are 27 minutes into episode 2 of the ShivvyPop the algorithm, and 27 minutes. And all of that was just January. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, on to February.
So, January had been an up and down month for Amber. She had lost some weight, and she was doing fantastic at the gym and eating healthy.
Ugh. Holy shit. I have to do this all kind of hard. Oh.
But she had been worried for Crystal's health and had been upset.
Am I weird? I would never do that. Am I weird? Y'all let me know if you peel apples like that. I would, well, A, I wouldn't peel my apple. And B, am I weird? I mean, I would, if I was going to peel an apple, I would use a paring knife. And I would go, you know, around the apple. Or I'd put it on an apple corer because I have the attachment. I know not everybody does. So I'm not, no judge. No judging. I'm just saying, like, if I was going to do it by hand, I'd use a paring knife.
And being sick led to some other issues for Amber to have to try to deal with.
Crystal, again, is not sleeping with me. I'm all by myself. She didn't even fall asleep in here last night at all. It makes me so sad. It was really hard for me to fall asleep because she wasn't next to me because I'm so used to that. Ugh, it just sucks so bad. Crystal's still sleeping on the couch in the other room. I don't want to wake her up. I feel bad that she can't sleep because I snore like a crazy person today.
Amber has always mentioned that she has a hard time sleeping without someone else in the bed, to the point where even after she breaks up with her exes, she somehow gets them to sleep in the same bed with her even after the breakup. And I'm sure, like, I don't doubt this. This is... Sorry, I'm messing with my clothes here. I don't doubt it. I think that is a symptom of, again, her poor childhood, her very bad childhood. And I mean, Amber on more than one occasion has said, I have abandonment issues, and I 100% believe her. So, and I'm sure that this bed sleeping thing is also part of this abandonment thing. It's, well, I mean, it's really fun seeing Amber setting the groundwork for all of this stuff so early in her channel. So, like, the the scolding the audience, the being self-centered when her partner is the one who has the medical issue, the not being able to sleep in a bed alone, the blaming the audience for when she fails, that kind of stuff. It's fascinating to see that it's not even like a soft intro to it. It's just these are the facts, the hard facts of the character that is Amberlynn. I also think it's very important to know that this is the foundation, the groundwork of Amber's channel.
Amber was ill, Crystal wasn't sleeping in the same bed as her, and she was still having to deal with negative people online.
Somebody said to me via internet, you can wipe down the machines at the gym, so being sick is just an excuse. It's 110% not an excuse. I want to go to the gym so bad.
Okay, first off, if you're sick, I don't want you at the gym. I don't care if you can wipe down the machines. I carry my own antibacterial wipes for the gym. I know I'm overdoing it. It's fine. I'm all right with that. I got really paranoid about getting monkeypox, and I was just like, I'm not doing it. So trust me, I understand. But if you're hacking and coughing and sneezing everywhere and you're not going to wear a mask, which I don't know why you would want to work out in a mask, but some people still do. Just don't go to the gym. It's not going to kill you. And if your body's already working hard to get better anyway, then you don't want to overstress it. In my opinion, you don't want to overstress your body because it's just going to make it take longer to get better. So as somebody who does go to a public gym, I would ask you nicely, if you're sick, running a fever, have a cough, sneezing on everything that moves, please don't come to the gym. Bare minimum, if you for some reason cannot keep yourself from the gym while you are snotting and coughing on everything, wear a mask. It's not even a CVID thing. It's not even a corona thing. Just don't go to the gym and make everyone else sick. It's just kind of a dick move, in my opinion. And you don't need to be in the gym that badly. Okay? Taking 1 or 2 days off to get healthy will not kill you. Anyway.
I don't even know it's in my bones, and it's driving me insane.
Yes, Amber was not going to the gym because she was so ill. So, to cheer herself up, she would watch her old YouTube videos.
Crystal and I are just watching old vlogs. What? I don't know. We're watching vlogs from like forever.
I'm sorry, I liked Crystal. What's so funny? I don't know. It's just so deadpan. I don't know. Oh, Crystal, what has become of you?
I'm currently watching my Vlogmas 2nd 2014. Earlier, the power actually went out, so we had to order food, which I was kind of like a little upset about, but...
You don't have to order food if the power goes out, but whatevs.
As well as failing to go to the gym and not cooking any healthy food, Amber was also now drinking hot chocolates, despite telling us at the start of the year she would only drink water.
You will take hot cocoa and drinking chocolate from my cold, dead hands. I don't care if I'm on a diet. It is part of me. You will never take it from me. Freedom!
Oh, there seemed to be a little tension beginning to brew between Amber and Crystal. Crystal may not have appeared directly in Amber's videos, but it was still clear something wasn't quite right.
Turn it off. Turn off my phone so I can get my phone. Oh, I'll get it. Alright. So Crystal tried the horseradish. Pretty much her exact words were, it's what you'd expect it to taste like. It was alright. I don't think she liked it very much, but who knows. For some reason, she didn't like the spinach really that much. She didn't like the chicken that much. She woke up not feeling the greatest, but yet she was starving. I don't know what's going on with her.
Crystal didn't like being on camera, and Amber was filming daily vlogs. Crystal couldn't even come in the kitchen because Amber was filming. She couldn't go out for food without Amber filming. She couldn't go out shopping without Amber filming.
Hey, Crystal.
She couldn't even get a hug without Amber filming it. I'm surprised she didn't film Crystal's tampons as well.
again, get over it. Women have periods and they use things for their periods. Now, the criticism here truly is that Amber gave Crystal very little privacy. Not as bad as she did on Becky or Destiny. She was like all up in their grills. But the commentary here is that Amber's not giving Crystal privacy. I will continue to rail that it is perfectly natural and normal for people to have menstruation, and we should not be considering it something weird and shameful and should only exist in the shadows. Honestly, if this is the only real criticism I'm having of these, then, I mean, that tells you how good I think they are. Guys, for whatever reason, are just really freaked out about the fact that women have menstruation, and it just really boggles my mind.
Tampons, that's embarrassing. Those aren't mine, but I'll put them down here.
But why?
What are you doing?
What a
Crystal
weird place
also
to
had to
keep
drive
those.
Amber around everywhere because she didn't drive. And there was just a sense that Amber was beginning to get on Crystal's nerves.
Crystal and I are at this frozen yogurt place called Crave. I'm not showing you. I'm showing the ceiling. And I want to show you guys the ceiling. It's so cool. No.
Are you filming?
No.
Oh, why?
Have a hug.
Stop.
Crystal. Crystal. Oh, do it again with your hand. She was shooing me away. What'd you just say?
I'm done.
Head massage. How's that feel?
She's just insufferable. One of the things that I have always thought when I watch Amber is that I could never be in a room with Amber for more than 5 minutes, because when she's doing stuff like this, when she's just being herself, and you can tell she's just being herself, she's acting out. She's definitely play acting up for the camera some, but this is Amber, and she's just insufferable and annoying, and every trait I dislike in people. And this is why I couldn't be in a room with her for more than 5 minutes, because after that I would just be like, I need to go, or something bad is going to happen. To be fair, I don't think Amber would really enjoy being in a room with me for more than 5 minutes, honestly, because I don't know if I'd even talk to her. Or if I did, they would be questions she would not want to answer. Mwah. But yeah, clips like this, she's just insufferable, and I don't understand why people put up with her. I really don't. I've never understood why the greater public puts up with individuals like this. Like, why are you tolerating this in the first place?
Hi, Crystal.
If somebody messed my hair up that much, I would be violent. If somebody came in, messed my hair up that much, laughed the entire time, I would be violent. I would be violent about it. This right here, this is my mood. Crystal, where did you go? We miss you so much. We being me.
Say something. Just say hi.
Hi.
Say bye.
No.
Why? No. Crystal wants to delete my videos. Why do you always want to delete my stuff? Take your socks and go elsewhere.
As well as annoying
See, she's just freaking insufferable. God. I think the other thing that's important to take away from these clips is the entitlement that Amber has always had. She thinks she's important because she's got these videos and she's getting feedback from the internet. So she thinks that she's bigger and more popular than she really was. And so her needs specifically towards the videos and the recording outweigh everyone, including Crystal's privacy, Crystal's dislike of being on the camera. I mean, I don't know how more clearer Crystal could make it that she doesn't want to be A, in the videos, and B, on camera. But Amber, like, here, take your socks and go somewhere else. Those were cute socks, by the way. This is Crystal's home, not yours. You know, you go somewhere else and film. You know, it's not going to hurt you to turn the camera off, not lie to your girlfriend that you're filming them, not film over their head. You know, you could have gotten up and gone to the bathroom and filmed the ceiling while you were going to the bathroom, you know, in a way that you didn't need to record Crystal doing it. So part of this is Amber's insufferable and she thinks annoying people is cute, and apparently has always thought that. And the other part of this is Amber thinks that what she's doing with the vlogging and the video recording is more important than anyone else's needs or desires. This is early Amber. Okay. This is early Amber. Now, interestingly, compare this to the most recent girlfriend, which would be Feline, aka Wifey. We barely saw Feline. We barely heard Feline. So Amber obviously developed the ability to keep a girlfriend off camera. Because if you just follow Amber's vlogs and don't do any like background digging like the Farms does, you wouldn't know what the girlfriend looks like. Because I don't go to the Farms. So if you just go off of Amber's vlog and the Instagram posts here and there, you wouldn't know exactly what Feline looked like. But here, and she claims she did that because because Feline didn't want to be on camera. So Amber was respecting Feline's wishes to not be filmed and not be put on the camera. Here, there's no respect for this. Now, keep in mind, this is 23-year-old Amber. So she's still very young. We're all stupid when we're 23. You know, I'm not going to hold that against her. But anyway, my point is that compare Amber's treatment of Crystal here to Amber's treatment of Feline. Her relationship with Feline is so unusual compared to any of the other relationships we've seen her have. And that would be Crystal, Destiny, and Becky. Okay? Because all three of them, she was up in their faces with the cameras. She lies to all three of them. I'm not recording when she's totally recording. If somebody told me they weren't recording, and they were recording, and then I find out because I watched their video and I see that they were recording, we'd be done. That'd be the end of it.
Crystal, Amber was beginning to annoy much of her audience.
And yet again, I'm having a broth bowl. It is literally the best thing. Like, there are certain cashiers that literally just need to be smacked across the face.
Whoa! All right. Look, I complain a lot about this one lady at the Panera from Hell. Actually, I complain about most of the people from the Panera from Hell because they're rude. Would I go this far? No. They're rude ass people. They're rude. They treat me like shit. They love making the delivery drivers wait extra long. It's a power dynamic for them. I'm fully aware of that. So as irritated as it makes me, I get it. I still think they're douchebags. Would I threaten them or suggest that someone should inflict physical violence upon them? No. I'm just going to complain about them being rude. That's completely different. Oh.
So, I mean, we got so much snow, it was literally, like, shocking. And then, of course, they have the delicious broth bowls. The lentil quinoa bowl is my literally favorite thing here. I'm gonna have some pretzels and some red pepper hummus. Literally, it's become the best thing I've ever eaten in my whole entire life. All right, after the daytime, the lighting in here is literally...
The 80s called. They want their dress back. Sorry.
Horrific. I'm wearing this beaded black necklace that I got from Walmart. Literally obsessed with it. We're off to eat. I'm like literally starving to death. So
when did she start wearing chokers all the time? Because you don't really see her wear necklaces anymore. Because she's real big on showing us the jewelry she's wearing, and all of her necklaces have been necklaces. I mean, they're tight on her, but they're necklaces. When does she start wearing chokers? I guess we'll find out. Why do you move away from something that actually demonstrates or appears to create the illusion of a neck to a choker, which visually shortens your neck and sometimes gets swallowed up by the neck, which makes it look even worse when you're gaining weight?
How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you. Literally.
Just assume that they are.
This is the best book I have ever read. I could not stop laughing the whole time. I already read the whole thing.
Girl, it's a picture book. What? Okay.
Holy crap, it was literally hilarious. Ground turkey, potato, and kale soup.
Switch the kale out for spinach, and I'm here for that. Or even better, switch it out for some bok choy. Even better.
And it is literally heaven. You know, sometimes in life, you literally don't do anything. And everyone, like all the football players, literally started beating each other up. Oh God, the wind outside is literally frightening.
Oh, the weather outside is frightening. Anyway, sorry.
Woke up like literally. It's definitely something that's like literally driving me insane.
At least she's aware that she says it too much. Sometimes. I'm gonna work really hard to not use that word. I already don't use per se. I'm pretty sure I can knock literally out of my language. Work with me on this one, guys.
She had shown us all the healthy foods she had been eating before and after she was ill, telling us how many calories were in all her food. But she hadn't filmed a weigh-in video since that first week of January, where she lost 8 pounds.
I don't know if this has been all of her meals, because I did notice she bought Weight Watchers chicken breasts. But this entire meal that she has here is uber processed everything. Like the pasta spirals that she used were those veggie infused ones. The Prego pasta sauce obviously is processed. Now these meatballs clearly are processed. This is the kind of stuff that I rail against when I'm talking about processed foods. But for Amber, this is the way she can track. This is how she can track her numbers, her calories or her points, whatever she's doing at the time. Because if I make the meatballs from scratch, I can control what's in them, so there won't be any chemicals or preservatives or anything. And I know that, but it's also harder to get an exact calorie count because calorie counting apps, I've noticed, don't like it when you put in homemade meals. Yes, you can create your own recipes and it will guesstimate, but it really doesn't like it when you make your own food. It really does encourage you to eat processed foods because these foods are already supposedly measured. Okay. So I'm having a thought. You're watching me think here. So Amber's always counted calories. And when she wasn't counting calories, she was doing Weight Watcher points. So she's always tracked the value of her foods. And it's harder to do that when you're cooking from scratch and using whole foods. It's easier to do when you're using these pre-made processed things. So it does kind of explain why Amber uses processed foods as much as she does. It's not just because she's buying brands, because Amber has always been a brand person. She buys brands because that's what non-poor people do, I think. I honestly think that's a thing for her. Like poor people or less well-off people buy generic. You know, I buy generic, but I like generic brands sometimes. I like them better than it doesn't matter. But if the whole purpose here really is that buying pre-made processed foods allows her to track them more easily, it does make sense. Also, it gives her the sensation that she has cooked because she had to boil the pasta. She had to add the sauce. She had to warm up these meatballs. You have to put the finishing polishes on the meal, even though you didn't really do anything. I'm not saying that you need to make your pasta from scratch, make your meatballs from scratch, make your pasta sauce from scratch. If you do that, that's awesome. I've done it. I don't make my own pasta anymore. It's a pain in my ass, so I don't do it. But yeah. But it does make sense. So not only does this pre-processed, pre-made food, it's easier for her to track in her calorie counting and her point tracking apps, but because you have to put the finishing touches on it, you have to rewarm everything and you got to mix it all together and then you have to serve it, you know. It gives the sensation that you are cooking, even though you're still kind of eating crap food. Some crap food, I guess, is better than other crap food, but it's still super processed kind of stuff. I don't know anything about any of these brands except Prego. So I don't know. Just a thought I was having while I'm watching this.
And it was now 1 week into February. The last time Amber went a whole month without filming a weigh-in video was December 2014. And then she ended up confessing she hadn't been as good as she said she had. But it was a new year now, and new Amber, remember.
It's the bra! Boy, she really did wear the hell out of that thing, didn't she?
That wouldn't happen again.
I am at a really, really vulnerable state right now. I have been lying to you all. I really, really am not a liar. It's not who I am. I have an eating disorder. They are literally killing me. January 1st, 2015, I was so headstrong on succeeding in my weight loss this year. I thought January 1st, 2015 would be a magical day. I don't talk much about my weight loss or my weight gain or my weight struggles. Behind closed doors, I am trying my hardest to heal privately. I have not been on track. I have been binge eating at night. I have been so ultimately terrified to weigh myself. I stepped on the scale. I weighed 384.8. I was
thought she'd been gaining weight. Again, one of the first places you see Amber gain weight is her face. She loses the sharpness of her features. I don't think we've seen Amber with sharp features in a while, but back in the day she had sharp features. Amber likes making these videos. She likes making these confession style videos. I think she likes making them because she feels like she's being open and authentic and raw and real. And maybe she is. These style videos are the best to do. They're best for body language because in these videos, she isn't necessarily being deceptive, but sometimes she is straight up. Like, she needs to convince us that she's tried her hardest, is repentant, and is going, because this will have a redemption arc to it, and she's going to go forward and do even better, you guys. She's learned her lesson and she's going to progress forward from here on out. So the interesting thing to watch in these is her body language as it progresses through the video. You can do it with the scolding videos too, but she'll waffle back and forth between sincere body language and deceptive body language. When she's being deceptive, I don't necessarily think she's lying, but she is being deceptive. And you can translate that into she's lying if you want, but I think there's varying levels of that. But these are always the best ones if you want to really start chewing on her body language. Because she's going to lie. She's telling us she's lying. And that's the cathartic moment for her, that shedding of, or at least appearing to unburden herself on her audience. Look, guys, I'm being so honest with you. I'm being so open with you. I feel bad because I've been deceiving you all this time. But I'm a good person because I realized the error of my ways and now I'm going to stop doing it. Is this the first time she's done this? I think this is the first or second time she's done the I've been deceptive and I'm being repentant type of video. And she likes doing them. Like, this is a pleasurable video for her. Even when she's crying, even when she's sniffling into the video about how bad things were or how dishonest she's been and how bad she feels about it, she likes doing them because she thinks it's when she's showing her most authentic self. And honestly, these are like the least authentic moments for her. This is when she's acting the most, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Watching My 600-Pound Life last night, which is honestly one of my favorite shows in the whole world.
That show terrifies the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie. I'm watching it. I'm watching Shaun of Steel watch 600-Pound Life. And I like Shaun of Steel. That's not it's why I watch it. But the show itself, these people, I mean, I'm glad, I guess, that their lives, most of them get better. I think, I don't know, but like, as far as my overall opinion of these people, wow. No.
A girl named Amber was on there. It was a hard episode to watch. I literally felt like that could be me in a couple years. She didn't just have my name, but she had my struggles. We shared so many
She's making that up.
similarities that my heart was
She's making up that they have so many similarities. She's trying to convince herself that they are similar.
literally breaking the whole time watching it. I don't want to become 600 pounds. I don't even
That was weird.
want to be 384 pounds. I can show you what I want to show you, but I can definitely not show you what I don't want to show you. I took out so many major parts of my life. I did not talk about any of this. It was something I've been dealing with desperately and wholeheartedly. I've been just...
So she's giving off a lot of deceptive body tics here, and I don't know why she's doing it. So it'll pop up eventually.
dig deep within myself. I really don't know if that makes me selfish, makes me a liar, but I just don't want any of you to be upset with me. I could see why you would be. I'm going through a lot.
She doesn't want her audience mad. She wants her audience to be super supportive. And so she doesn't like it when her audience is critical.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and I really hope
She really doesn't give a shit if you're listening or not.
that you just appreciate my honesty.
And she's not being honest. All I can pick up from that is that she wasn't being honest. This is still early Amberlynn. I'm not saying her body language is developing. Her body language is there. I just can't figure out what exactly she would have been being deceptive about. Because she's like, I don't want to be 600 pounds. And then she's over in her Lie Factory. And I'm just like, do you actually want to be 600 pounds? Surely not. I think what that was is she was thinking at the time, she doesn't want to be 600 pounds. Ergo, she has to do all the stuff that she needs to do to stay that way, to get healthy. And she doesn't want to do that. So she doesn't want to be 600 pounds, I think. I don't know anybody who would want to be. But I think also that she doesn't want to put in the work to not be 600 pounds. I think that's what that was. These ads. It irritated me the first time one of them popped up because I was like, grrr. But these are actually ones he's putting in.
Would not be angry with her,
Available
and
nowhere,
instead
it's
just
a
be
joke.
thankful for her honesty. Many of her fans had experienced the same struggles as Amber, and it was beginning to seem that no matter how many times she messed up, she would still have the support from some die-hard fans. But the non-die-hard fans weren't happy, which led to more negative comments being left on her videos.
LMAO for like 12 weeks in a row she would say, I swear I am gonna start back at the gym Monday. I am desperately searching for a single video where you don't stare at yourself the entire video. It's really distracting and narcissistic. Maybe try to be more professional. The entire video. I am desperate for like 12 weeks in a row she would say, I swear I am gonna start back at the gym Monday. I am desperately searching for a single video where you don't stare at yourself the entire video.
I wonder if this is the beginning of the narcissism stuff. I mean, I know who really drove it home was Narc Alert. I know people were throwing the idea around, and I think that's where Narc Alert got the idea. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know Narc Alert. I haven't watched Narc Alert in probably a year now or longer. But the accusations of narcissism, I wonder if this is around when it starts, because I mean, she's definitely, in my opinion, self-centered, and that's all I am allowed to diagnose. And I don't think being self-centered is a diagnosis. Everybody's self-centered at some point. First, what is it? Main character syndrome. There you go.
It's really distracting and narcissistic. Maybe try to be more professional. Not even finished a full day of being on track and already making excuses. You're hopeless. All you do is shopping and eat. Do you or anything else? And here Crystal's father paid for their food. Hey haters, what the heck is wrong with you? Then why are you watching, huh? If you watch it, then live, don't commit, or okay, just live, damn. Hater live, use UH brain DAHHH, goodbye.
Is this English? Hey haters, what the heck is wrong with you? Then why you watching, huh? If you watch it, then live, don't comment, or okay, just live, damn. Use your brain, da. I hate people who type like this. We will be cutting that part out, thank you.
There was even talk of Amber attempting to manipulate her audience. One reason for this was for the whole of January and beginning of February, Amber had discussed food.
Who is buying her this jewelry? Dang, she got big fast.
Clothes, jewellery, board games, nothing too serious. But as soon as she confessed to messing up and didn't want her fans angry with her, she started to discuss more and more about her difficult upbringing.
I was in foster care for most of my life. I actually saved my baby brother because my parents were on so many drugs when I was about 9 years old, and my brother was choking really bad. He was in his crib, he was just a baby, and the curtain string was around his neck. He was completely purple, couldn't breathe, and I saved his life. I am overly, overly, overly grateful for all of you.
No, she's not. Anyway, I hear people, not a lot of people, I have heard from some people that these stories are not true. And I'm here to tell you right now, I have absolutely no reason not to believe them. And I have every reason to believe them. So that's where I'm at with those. The baby brother story. I know I've said this before. The baby brother story puzzles me because I think there's some truth to it, but I'm not entirely sure if the entire story is entirely true. Because again, somebody pointed out, she says that her baby brother was completely purple and he couldn't breathe, but yet he was screaming his head off. I don't know how much I care about that detail, honestly. If you are choking to the point where you have turned purple from lack of oxygen, you're not screaming. However, babies will scream until they turn purple. I've watched it happen. So probably that's really what was happening. But again, Amber did it Amber saved her brother when she was very, very young. So the possibility that these details just never lined up for her is completely acceptable in my opinion. Some of this other stuff, and this is where I start deviating from Mr. Snowflake, is Mr. Snowflake's one of the people that kind of digs into this stuff, but then starts throwing around accusations of lying or making things up. And we'll get into it more as we go, but I don't know, I'll talk about it more as we get to each individual case. With things like the baby brother story, there are logical and completely acceptable reasons why the story may not line up with reality. And the fact that people want to take them apart at this minuscule level is a little disturbing to me, just because it's a demonstration of how much people want Amber to be lying. Amber lies. You don't need to take a story like this apart to find lies. Amber just flat out lies. You don't have to do this digging. If it turns out like in some alternate universe that she never really did save her brother, and this is just a complete fabrication from word one, it doesn't change the fact that Amber lies, It's just an early indicator of it. And anyway, I guess I'm just saying, like, I don't think in my my opinion. I don't think there's any reason not to believe Amber's early childhood stories. Are they embellished? Probably. Tell me somebody who doesn't. Nobody remembers anything from their childhood perfectly. If you do, you're wrong. And all of our stories from that far back are probably altered or embellished or remembered differently than how they really happened, and we'll never really know. Amber thinks she saved her little brother when he was a baby, and he was purple when she went in to go save him, even though he was screaming his head off. He was probably purple because he was screaming his head off. The cord just happened to be wrapped around his neck. It's good that she went in and removed that, because apparently there's quite a few infant deaths that are related to that kind of stuff. I looked it up. It's a shocking number of infant deaths where they get the cord wrapped around their neck and they suffocate themselves. So don't put your babies next to the window, I guess, is the lesson here. Jeez. But yeah, so there's no reason to not believe this story, I guess, is my point.
After her emotional confession about lying to her fans, we now weren't sure if she was secretly binge eating and not telling us, or if she had actually stopped. And after that confession video, she went back to being very quiet about her weight. Her and Crystal, though, were seemingly back on track at least. After all, it was Valentine's Day. Crystal took Amber out.
I feel like it's been Valentine's Day forever in this episode, though. Like, I feel like Valentine's Day has been going on forever.
For a lovely meal, and took her for a bit of shopping. Some days had passed, and Amber finally started back at the gym. Although this time she would go at night. At night, Amber would do most of her binge eating. So she figured if she worked out at night, this would help stop the binge eating.
See, okay, I know where this is going. It's going to not work, but actually, I feel like this is a pretty clever thing if it had worked. You know your behavior is to binge at night. So to basically outsmart yourself, again, you set up something to counter the binge. So you're going to binge at night. So instead of doing that, you've set it up so that you go to the gym. Do I think it needs to be that extreme? No. Like, again, you could just set it up to be something like have the coloring books. We know she likes to color. That's why I keep going to it. Have the coloring books or like brain puzzles or brain teasers. I like doing those out on the table in the kitchen instead of, so that you have to see it before you go get food. And then when you see it, it hopefully would trigger something to the effect of, oh, I know I'm going to go eat something. I don't really need to eat it. How about I draw instead? Or it's right there. Kind of a thing. It's conveniently right there. The gym, I feel it's a smart idea, but since you have to like get in the car and drive to the gym and change your clothes and jada, people like to make it sound like it takes forever to get to the gym, but you do actually have to physically leave the house and go to the gym. I don't necessarily think if that's the best kind of thing, but if it does break the cycle, and I mean, getting out of the house where all of the food is probably is one of the best things you could do to prevent a binge. I think that this is not a terrible coping mechanism were it anyone other than Amber. Unfortunately, we know where this is going. I'm just saying anybody else, if you're trying this, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's pretty smart, especially if it sticks,
Amber truly loved the gym, she told us. It was her home away from home. So she was obviously very excited to be back there.
We just got out of the gym. We're sitting in the parking lot. I never, ever, ever, ever get headaches. The last couple of days I've been dealing with one. Today it's been by far the worst. So I went into the gym with a headache. I thought I was going to be able to work out around it, but I guess I couldn't. I got tired faster. I felt really just slouchy. My head was...
Boy, I tell you, when I get my little migraines that are they're 2-3 day long migraines, I will find anything to distract myself. Fortunately, they're not as bad as they used to be. Like, they used to be incapacitating. I'd go blind. The pain was immense. The nausea was ridiculous. I used to have to keep a bucket next to my bed. That's how bad my migraines were, because I never knew when I was going to wake up with one. But now they're just like these nagging, throbbing annoyances that just start one day and last for like 3 days and I go, probably I need to drink more water. But it's because they're not incapacitating, I will try to do anything to take my mind off of them.
The whole time I was truly dreading it. I wanted to just leave the gym, and that's not me. I normally really, really, really enjoy myself. And I'm not the only one with a headache. Crystal has a really, really bad headache as well today. But she...
Okay, what about Crystal's esophagus thing? What happened with that? Did she get surgery? Did they put her on medication? Usually they suggest a dietary change because it's going to aggravate the ulcer. I want to know what happened with Crystal's ulcer. I don't care about your headaches at the gym, Amber.
She always gets headaches, so it's not like something different, but...
I'm not the only one with a headache. Crystal also has a headache, but she always has a headache, so whatever. That's a problem? If I always had a headache, I'd go to the doctor.
I wonder why Crystal always got headaches.
And then there's that. See, I at least know that I don't sing well, which is why you only get little clips. Amber really does truly think she's got a good singing voice. And when you're singing in your car, it's kind of like when you're singing in the shower. You are the greatest singer that has ever existed when you're singing in your car or when you're singing in the shower. And that is a known fact. Sorry. I mean, it is, though. There's no one better than you in the car or the shower. Or you're like super drunk at karaoke. You can dance. Trust me, tequila.
One of the problems Amber had was that she always seemed proud of herself for not doing enough work.
My overall assessment is honestly, I am just proud of myself for even going and sticking through it as much as I didn't want to.
What is it like? Wow. What is it like being the other person in the vehicle, in the room, when Amber's recording? Like, what is it like being in the room when someone is vlogging literally right next to you? What is that like? I've never had to deal with it. So I'm just curious. As far as Amber being proud of herself all the time, I'm not entirely sure she is. I think she's saying it. I don't think she's not proud of herself. She has a very high opinion of herself. That's not the issue. I need to sit down and chew over the I'm proud of myself thing more, because I don't necessarily believe she's actually proud of herself in the idea of being proud of something. I think she says it to kind of be like, to basically be like, I don't care what your criticisms of me are. This is good enough for me, kind of a thing. It's not really pride. It's just like, I'm willing to accept this as my best. This is my best, whether you like it or not, kind of a thing.
This is red from the car in front of us. Whoa, that was like, literally, I looked really scary.
She would not put the effort in at the gym and be proud of herself. She would overeat her food, but log it all at least and be proud of it. She would overeat, but only by 1,000 calories, and be proud of it. She would be proud of herself for literally the smallest things.
Look at this, you guys. I finished this whole thing, and I have never done that before. Literally shocked right now.
If she was really going to succeed, she would be annoyed at herself for not doing the work required and do it next time. Being happy with not doing the work, well, she was never going to change. And the fans who kept telling her she was amazing and she was doing brilliantly may have thought they were helping Amber, but they weren't.
The other part of that is like not getting down on yourself for not being perfect. I get that. A lot of people just trash themselves when they mess up or they don't do whatever their plan was perfectly. So maybe the being proud of myself thing really is her just kind of saying, I don't want to trash myself for failure, which I approve of, because if you're constantly down on yourself, it's just going to make you feel worse about whatever you're down on yourself about, which will make it harder in the future to do the thing. So I understand her trying to find any little thing that she did correctly to be proud of, or to at least give herself a pat on the back for. But it's Amber. Anybody who would demonstrate that kind of, because you see it on 600 Pound Life a lot, where they're completely screwing up, but they've done they did their leg exercises one time and they're like, well, but I did the exercise once. I'm really proud of myself. Okay, now go do it, every day you're supposed to do it. Amber's kind of the same way. She doesn't want to be down on herself, and she doesn't want to admit that she is screwing up. So she's going to find every little thing to be positive about. A, looking for encouragement from the audience again, and B, she's not beating herself up for not doing well. So on the one hand, it's a healthy mechanism, but if done too much, it's an excuse. It becomes part of the excuse cycle that keeps you trapped doing the things you don't want to do. Not that I'm speaking from personal experience or anything.
Going to the gym just seemed too much for Amber, and she returned to her normal, more comfortable life, filming her pets, going shopping, going out for food, playing board games, hanging out with Crystal's family.
Don't move your back, just move your ass. Move your ass only. Get down, boy.
Not only was Amber struggling with the gym, but she seemed to be struggling with everything.
I don't want to be dishonest with you guys.
But
I've never been dishonest with you guys. I didn't tell you guys I was off track, mainly because I was just at a really hard part of my life and I really just didn't want to discuss it. Sometimes it's really hard for me to discuss absolutely everything, so I just don't. I have a lot going on right now, and a lot of it I just kind of leave hidden behind the cameras because it's more appropriate.
I mean, I don't disagree with her there. I'm always saying don't put this shit online. But I don't know. I wouldn't then go online and be like, you guys, there's a bunch of stuff you don't know about. I don't know, maybe. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing for somebody to come online and be like, hey, there's a bunch of shit happening in my life that I don't want to talk to you about, but it's affecting me. I'm working on it. I don't personally feel like that's I don't feel like that's a bad thing to do. You don't need to discuss every little detail of your life, especially if you're like a vlogger. I mean, I get that that's kind of your shtick, but there's certain things that happen that you really just don't need to discuss or share, but they do impact you. They are having an impact on you. So I don't need to know every detail. I actually kind of like when people come on and they're like, hey, I've been having a rough time. No, I don't want to go into the details, but I just want to let you guys know there's a reason for my weird behavior. Because usually you can tell when somebody's, especially somebody you've been watching for a long time, you can usually tell when something's going on or something's not exactly right. But do I need all the gory details? No, I don't want the gory details. I don't feel like the internet is a place to trauma dump. And I just don't feel like it's a safe place to do that at. And so I wouldn't. But if something major was happening in my life and it was affecting me and I felt like the audience needed to know that I was being affected by something, I would probably do something like this. I would probably say something to the effect of, something's happening in the background. No, I'm not going to talk about it, but I just need you guys to be aware that, crap's happening in the background and it's affecting me, And then when the thing is over with, I will say, hey, that thing that I didn't mention that was affecting me, it's cleared up. Let's move on with life. We can do this. All right, onward.
I have a illness and I have no idea how to get a hold of it. I am off track yet again. I feel gross, disgusted, let down, disappointed, defeated, like no one really cares. I feel like I'm never gonna get it again. I'm never gonna find that motivation.
She really does feel all this. She's being honest right here. This really is her feelings in the moment.
Gonna find the determination. I'm never gonna find the inspiration, true support that I really need. I am in such a hump, such a sad.
I think she does know that she needs to do herself, which is why we had that little deceptive tick there. Or there was something cut out. I don't know.
Her fans would try and offer advice, but Amber didn't need to listen to them. After all, she had already lost weight.
Weight loss surgery complications. That's a hell of a name. According to my doctor, protein bars are glorified candy bars and should only be eaten as a meal replacement as a last resort and never a snack. I know you said everyone's plan is different, but it doesn't change the health of the food item. Weight loss surgery complications. I agree. I know I've had it out with a couple other people. Not in a bad way. We have politely discussed candy bars that are actually protein bars. Unless it's a chunk of beef, it's not a protein bar. Or chicken. To which Amber replies, at Stephanie B. That must have been her name before. Anyway, a lot of doctors have different opinions on things. So do nutritionists. I saw a couple doctors one time who definitely agreed with your doctor, but I've also talked to some other doctors and nutritionists who thoroughly believe no one eats perfectly and that even if you ate 35% of your diet in not, quote, exactly, end quote, healthy foods, you would still be a healthy person. When did you talk to these people? When did this happen? I always thought doctors did not know much about nutrition because, no offense to them, there are a lot of obese doctors out there. Are there? If they knew nutrition, they would take into account into their daily lives, right? Now only that, but I have a friend who just recently became a doctor. We talk very little, but when we do, I can't help but ask a ton of questions. Oh God, you're one of those people. Oh, you're a doctor? Hey, can you look at this for me? No, we're at dinner. And she said that she did not learn much about nutrition or mental statuses. And she wished those two things would have been covered a great deal more. I mean, that's why they send you to specialists like a therapist or I guess a nutritionist. I don't know. I'm going to be doing some kind of research into what the actual nutritionists and dietitians do, because with this whole like conspiracy about them basically shilling sugar for big sugar and beverage companies, I'm sus. But anyway, welcome to my conspiracies. Amber, did Dr. Google exist in 2015? Probably. So that's who I am assuming Amber talked to, is Dr. Google and nutritionist Google. So, but it is interesting that even though Amber doesn't trust doctors and nutritionists, she is deferring to them to defend the fact that she's eating meal replacement bars and protein bars. So I think they're all idiots and they don't know anything about nutrition, but they say it's okay that I eat my protein bars. Ergo, it is okay for me to eat my protein bars because in this one situation, the imaginary doctors that live behind my eyes have agreed with me that I should be eating candy bars. So I'm going to keep eating the protein bars. Screw you, weight loss surgery complications, Stephanie B.
On her own.
As you guys know, I was on a weight loss journey before and I lost 89 pounds.
Amber knew what she was doing, so she was going to do it her way.
I'm really truly beginning to suspect that this 89 pounds never happened. But that's because it didn't happen when she was on YouTube. And I've never heard too many details about it. That might change, but I'm beginning to think the 89 pounds didn't happen.
I weighed in today. As you guys know, I was 388.8 just yesterday, and today I was...
I can't read that.
That means I'm down 3.2 in just one day. I've been having a little bit of controversial discussions over on Ask FM. Some people think that I will not lose weight with Cliff Bars, which is odd to me. Some people constantly are complaining that I eat Panera Bread. Funny situation is
Panera Bread's trash, so it's just trash, guys.
I had a Cliff Bar yesterday and I also had Panera Bread and I'm still down 3.2 in one day. It just goes to show that everybody's different. Everybody loses weight differently. Never copy someone else because their program might not work for you and vice versa. I will not be weighing in daily because...
Okay, here's my thing. I don't think people are that unique snowflakes. You know, yeah, some people need adjustments to the default plan. Yes, I agree with that. But in general, do you as an individual need a completely individualized, totally unique, super special, only you plan? No, I don't believe that. As long as it's something along the lines of calories in, calories out, you're going to lose weight. You introduce exercise and movement, you're going to accelerate that, okay? These are things that we know as a society via science. Okay? Is Amber losing weight eating a Cliff Bar for breakfast and Panera for lunch or dinner? Maybe. What is she eating when she goes to Panera? Is she eating the salads? Then yeah, maybe. Is she eating some of these sandwiches that they have there? No. Is she eating the flatbread pizzas? Probably not. But if it's the only meal she's eating in a day, then maybe. I don't think you can't lose weight eating out. I think you really could eat out for every single meal and still lose weight. It's going to burn through the money in your pocketbook, but if that's how you want to do it, you just have to make better decisions about what you eat when you go to restaurants or you eat at fast food. I don't think it can't happen because, again, calories in, calories out. That's all it is. So if you're eating fewer calories than you need in a day, you're going to lose weight. Will you plateau faster? Probably. I don't know. I don't really know what causes the plateaus, and I haven't hit one yet. So there's that. But where was I going with this rant? But do you need a super special, unique, only for your genetic genie genes and because you're the most peculiar, specialistest person on the planet? No, you're probably fine. You're probably good on the plan that everybody else on the planet's doing. Are there people that need special plans? Yes, because there are people who have special needs. Am I talking about those people? No. I'm talking about people like me who don't need a special plan. Okay. Not every, if you want one and you want to go pay for it, knock yourself out. Sure. If it makes you feel better to have a specialized plan that is tailored just for you, if that's what you need to lose weight and to stay focused on a weight loss journey, then I mean, go for it. But do you have to have it in order to lose weight? No. And I really wish people would quit doing this shit. Like, everybody's special. Everybody's unique. Everybody needs something tailored just for them. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Unless you're somebody with special needs. That's my only caveat.
That is when my mind gets all combobulated. I was just very curious how I did first day back on track.
She may not have wanted any help from fans, but she did admit she needed help from somewhere.
I found out some really tough news today. It's actually extremely personal. Even before the bad news, I just kind of broke down. I've been thinking lately of going to OA, which is Overeaters Anonymous. I shared that news with some people and I expressed to them that I've been binge eating and it's getting really out of hand. I kind of just feel like not everyone is going to understand. Not everyone's going to know what to say to me. I just wish, people cared more, and that's kind of just in the place I'm in right now. I hope you.
So she's been doing that for a while too. That whole I really wish people, understood my uniqueness and understood and were kinder to me about my uniqueness. So she's been doing that for a really long time too. That's interesting. I know I say that a lot. I'm sorry.
Amber saying she was going to go to Overeaters Anonymous, well, this was a hugely positive sign that she was ready to make a change. 2 months into 2015, Amber seemed ready to finally beat all her other bad habits and to heal herself mentally.
I have been doing a lot of healing on the inside. I have been healing off a camera.
Hey, it's the Cat a Day calendar in the background. Yay!
I have been talking about my emotions off of camera. I used to do a lot of talking with Amberlynn videos, but I'm completely shying away from those. I'm purely doing vlogs. I no longer...
Is the talking with Amberlynn videos the early Ask Me Anything videos? The id feeding videos?
I want to come on here with long spewing mistakes, confessing my mess ups. It's not about that anymore. I need to figure out things I need to do to fix my health, to become more active. As you guys know, I do have a binge eating disorder.
So it looked like Amber was really trying to get in a good place mentally and was finally going to get some help. Her and Crystal had seemed a little shaky, although in the last few weeks of February, they seemed to be getting on a lot more.
I win. Oh, shit.
She was
I'm gonna guess, since Crystal's still coughing, that she still has the ulcer? I am curious what happened to... I hope the ulcer was fixed. And I'm curious as to what got done to fix it. I'm very curious about that just as an individual person. Also, it sucks that Crystal's still suffering from it.
back to eating healthy, or so she told us, and the vast majority of her fans were still right behind
Is that a steak? Because what did you do to that poor chunk of meat?
her. So, all things considered, the first couple of months of 2015 weren't too bad for Amber. Now that she was planning on going to Overeaters Anonymous, and she was taking the time to try and heal herself mentally, it seemed like perhaps Amber could finally get this monkey off her back and get her binge eating under control. So, as long as she followed through and got the help like she said she was going to, then she may actually be able to lose this unwanted weight of hers. She could make herself happy, as well as her loyal fans, and finish her weight loss journey as the victor.
I weighed in today at my heaviest that I've weighed in over 3 years. I asked you guys to ask me some questions like 2 vlogs ago, and I said I will answer some of them, so I'm gonna do that right now.
We're not doing that. All right. So this is the end of episode 2 of Amberlynn Reid Shaped by the Algorithm. So we only made it through February. I didn't realize how tight he was making these episodes. But it now explains why we're on like episode 15. I think he just released episode 15. But this episode was just January and February of 2015. That's stunning to me. Hey, it's the cat calendar in the background. And the reason it's stunning to me is because there's a lot. Beautiful day outside. A lot happened. It's insane to me. All right, so overall, wrapping up episode 2, we see the scolding of the audience. We see the blaming the audience. We see petitioning the audience for support. We see the whole, I wish people could be more understanding of how unique and special I am. We see the self-centeredness with Crystal going to the doctor and being diagnosed with an ulcer on her esophagus, and then Amber making it all about her, like all about her. We see the annoyance, the annoying behavior towards the partners, the disregarding the partner's privacy that we will see going forward. Again, it's interesting to compare that to the most recent relationship that she just got out of, which was with Feline, aka Wifey, and who she gave nothing but privacy to. So that's interesting to see. I wonder where the shit, because she just bulldozed over all of her partners up to Feline. Feline's the first one that she tried to keep private. How successful she is, my time will tell, but she kind of screwed up on that one. But when you put everything on the internet, it's going to happen. Just seeing these foundational traits being solidified so early in the channel. Remember, this is 2015. So it's all of these traits were front and center from the beginning. And of course, so is the trying and failing thing. That is quintessential Amber. And just the mental gymnastics she goes through when she stops and starts and stops and starts. And the cycle. Is the cycle? I forget the guy's name. I think it's Aaron something. Someone can tell me down in the comment section. But he created that whole cycle of Amberlynn where we've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I think there were 4 phases. Phase 4. So I wonder, I should dig that out. I wonder if the phases are solid yet. If her various phases are solid yet, because we've had the cathartic I've been lying to you video. There were 2 of those in here. So she did 1 each month, basically. The I was being deceptive, I was lying to you. I'm no longer going to do that. I feel bad about it. Going forward, I will be more transparent with you guys. We've also had the there's stuff going on in the background. We had Vaglin. You know, shit's happening in the background, you guys. Again, I'm not necessarily against that. It's good to know that something's affecting her. I don't necessarily need to know the details of it. But I know it really annoys some people. So there's that. So we've got all of these various... I feel like at this point, like we just wrapped up episode 2. Again, we've made it through almost a year and a half of the channel, of her channel. I feel like at this point, all of the quintessential Amberlynnisms have been established and have been noticed and have been marked. We haven't gotten to the breakup yet, but we're on our way there. So that's probably going to happen, I think, in episode 3. I can't remember. Well, obviously it's either 3 or 4. But that's pretty much the only Amberlynn trait we haven't covered yet. So that's... I might do an analysis video about all of this, just because it would be good to have all of my thoughts in one place as opposed to spread out through 5 different videos at this point. So I'm going to do that after I get done with this. Maybe after I get back from where I'm going. I'm going to be gone mid-October. So that's why I'm pre-recording a bunch of stuff. Anyway. So, okay. So I have a plan going forward. I'm going to do an analysis video going over the first 2 episodes. More, not really going over the first 2 episodes, but basically looking at the Amber traits that have popped out in the first 2 episodes. And I think after we get through maybe episode 4 or so, once we get past the Crystal era, I'll sit down and I'll do another analysis just of the Crystal era. So I think those will be fun. And more than anything, I'm going to do those to get my thoughts all in one place. Okay. So there's that. And all right, so we're at the end of the video. We've completed the first 2 episodes, and I hope you guys are enjoying these. If you are, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. If you're not, you can thumb it down. Interaction with the video is interaction with the video. So there's that. And yeah, if you've made it this far, don't forget to leave a snowflake or a snowman down in the comments section. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear what you guys think go with all of this. What are your thoughts on past Amber compared to current Amber? What parallels are you seeing between Amberlynn's behavior in the Crystal era versus the Destiny era, the Becky era, and the Feline era? You know, what parallels are all of you seeing? You know, let's talk. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody who supports my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You people rock hard. And thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Ding, ding. And if you've made it this far in the video, you may as well subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, I will see everyone in the next one. Woo.